Why does the beauty of life always carry the weight of pain? Is the joy we cling to merely a fragile veneer stretched over the chaos that defines existence? These questions linger like shadows, refusing to dissolve in the light of optimism, forcing us to confront the tragic undercurrent of our world. It is here, in the collision of beauty and suffering, that we uncover the truth of what it means to live. The essence of life, as revealed through tragedy, is not a harmonious balance, but a ceaseless struggle, a violent interplay between opposing forces. The Apollonian, with its serene order and rational clarity, offers the illusion of control, while the Dionysian, wild and unrestrained, embodies the chaotic energy that shatters all illusions. In this perpetual conflict lies the creative spark of human existence, for only through destruction can something new emerge. The Greeks understood this well, celebrating tragedy as the highest form of art, one that did not deny suffering but embraced it, transforming despair into something profound and beautiful. In tragedy, the stage becomes a mirror, reflecting not a sanitized version of life, but its raw and brutal truth. The tragic hero does not triumph over their fate. Instead, they are consumed by it. Yet in their downfall, there is a sense of greatness, a fleeting affirmation of life, even as it collapses under its own weight. To witness this is to confront the reality we spend our lives avoiding, that suffering is not an anomaly, but the very fabric of existence. Tragedy does not seek to console us. It compels us to see, to feel, to grapple with the unbearable. And yet, modern life has turned away from this wisdom. We bury chaos beneath layers of progress, science, and rationality, building a fortress of illusions to protect us from the abyss. We celebrate comfort and optimism, mistaking them for truth, while the Dionysian roars beneath the surface, waiting for a crack to erupt through. In our pursuit of happiness, we have forgotten how to suffer, and in forgetting, we have also lost the ability to create. For it is only through suffering that the highest forms of art, thought, and life itself are born. This conflict between order and chaos is not one to be resolved. It is to be endured, affirmed, even celebrated. The Apollonian dream of perfection will always be shattered by the Dionysian force of reality, and it is in this shattering that we find what is real. To live fully is not to seek escape from pain, but to embrace it as the source of our greatest achievements. This is the lesson of tragedy, the truth that Nietzsche unveils in The Birth of Tragedy, that beauty is not a refuge from suffering, but a product of it. To embrace this tragic truth is to accept the fragility and impermanence of all things. Beauty, when viewed through the lens of tragedy, is no longer a comfort. It becomes an expression of the fleeting nature of existence. The flower blooms, not despite its eventual withering, but because of it. The light of dawn is radiant precisely because it will fade into night. To deny this transience is to deny the essence of life itself. And yet, it is this denial that has become the hallmark of modernity, a desperate clinging to illusions of permanence and progress, as if humanity could rise above the chaos that defines it. But the Dionysian cannot be silenced. It reemerges in moments of crisis, madness, or profound creativity, shattering the illusions we so carefully construct. In these moments, we are reminded of the raw power of existence, a power that is both destructive and creative. For just as chaos destroys, it also gives birth. Art, the highest achievement of human expression, arises from this interplay of forces, turning pain into beauty, despair into affirmation. The artist, then, becomes a tragic figure, a being who confronts the abyss and transforms it, knowing that their creation is as impermanent as they are. And what of the rest of us, who are not creators, but mere participants in this grand, tragic theater? Are we doomed to be passive spectators, resigned to the inevitability of suffering? Perhaps not. Perhaps our role is to affirm life not in spite of its chaos, but because of it. To live tragically is to live fully, not to seek escape from suffering, but to embrace it as a necessary condition of existence. It is to find meaning, not in the avoidance of pain, but in the moments of beauty that arise from it, however fleeting they may be. In this way, The Birth of Tragedy offers not a solution, but a challenge. It demands that we confront life as it is, stripped of comforting illusions, and that we find the strength to say yes to it all, the joy and the suffering, the creation and the destruction. It is a philosophy that does not promise happiness, but greatness, a greatness that can only be achieved by embracing the tragic essence of life. To affirm life in the face of suffering is not an act of denial, but of courage. It is a dance on the edge of the abyss, a celebration of the fragile beauty that emerges from chaos. And so, as you reflect on these ideas, I invite you to continue this exploration, not to seek answers, for there are none, but to delve deeper into the questions that define what it means to live. Let us confront the shadows together, not as a means of escape, but as an affirmation of the tragic truth of existence. Consider subscribing to this channel, not for solace, but for the shared pursuit of understanding. For in the end, it is not answers that sustain us, but the courage to face the darkness and the fleeting light that shines within it.